Hey everyone, so today I wanted to bring to attention some of the interesting things I found out when researching some updates on the local wildfires happening here in California. So for those of you who don't know, there's currently over 600 wildfires happening across California, 500 of which were started from the lightning strikes that occurred in early August. And since then there's been over 1 million acres burned already. Now there's actually two fires happening right now, including the LNU Lightning Complex fire up in the Bay Area, and the second being the SCU Lightning Complex fire happening in the San Jose area. And these are actually among the top 3 largest wildfires to ever occur in California history, which is pretty mind-blowing to think about, that these are happening at the same time, and each one is already breaking record numbers, with being over 300,000 acres burned, I believe, so far. And it really kind of puts into perspective how big of a battle and challenge it is for firefighters to be putting these out. It's really crazy to think about. So anyways, I read into some more articles, and I came across this one that touched on a really interesting subject that I actually didn't know too much about, so I figured I'd share it with you. So it stated that California is actually facing a pretty big shortage of inmate firefighters due to their early release in July due to the current pandemic happening right now of COVID-19. So what had happened was, in early June, the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation had announced that they were going to release 17,000 inmates early in response to protecting the prison population and staff from a future COVID-19 outbreak, which seems like a pretty smart idea. However, on the contrary, this meant that there was going to be less of these inmate firefighters being able to be trained and be used to help fight all these fires right now in California. So this was pretty cool to learn about, though, and the article began touching on how big of a role these inmate firefighters can play in crises like this, and how they go through a lot of extensive training to fight fires. And I didn't know this, but they actually really do send out these inmate crews to the front lines of wildfires, and they can sometimes be the first responders on them, and they also do things like create fire lines to help prevent the spreads of the fires. So they really do make a big impact, and that's really cool to hear, actually, because you see these people that have come from bad pasts, gotten themselves in prison, but it's really cool to see that they're making a change for the better in their life, and enrolling in these government-funded programs to learn firefighting techniques. And now they're out here in the community making a really positive impact, risking their lives, saving people's houses, lives, protecting the wildlife from these very disastrous wildfires. So yeah, it was just really cool to learn about that and the program, and I think it's really cool that California specifically does programs like these for prisons, because it gives them a second chance to kind of reboot their life and hopefully kickstart them to a better journey after they're released from prison, and hopefully they get into a career with firefighting after that, which would be very good for them, I imagine. So yeah, that's about all I wanted to share with you all today. I thought that was pretty fascinating to learn about, and I didn't know too much about that inmate firefighter program until now. And big shout out to all the firefighters out there. If you know anybody who's a firefighter, or if you run into them even on the streets right now, be sure to give them a big thanks. They're working really long and hard hours, and we really appreciate all you do protecting us. And I hope everyone's keeping safe along with their friends and families right now with the wildfires. So yeah, thank you for listening, and have a great rest of your day.